Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on the Agent Aschenbrenner YouTube channel. We got a special one for you today. I usually don't have guest stars, but today we have my father joining us today.
Hello everyone.
Alright, and the reason we brought him on is because this is a very special movie. We are reviewing the movie Top Gun Maverick. Now, I was never a fan of the original Top Gun, but this guy here really enjoyed it, isn't that right?
Hey, the top 5 of my all-time movie list includes Top Gun and now Top Gun Maverick.
Alright, so let's just dive straight into it. What would you give this movie out of 10?
10? I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Alright. And in fact, I'm actually going to agree with that because this movie is excellent. So starting off with, well, let's do our quick non-spoiler impressions. I thought that the story was excellent. The action was really good. The filmmaking techniques that went into this were superb with actual airplanes. Tons of cool stuff there. It had, it's got suspense. It's got some surprises in stow. I thought it was excellent. What were your thoughts?
Finally, refreshing to see a movie that's not CGI from front to back. I agree on the action scenes. I agree the story was realistic. It was relatable. I like the character development. Solid film, front to back.
Alright, but now we're actually going to go ahead and dive into some spoilers because there's a lot to talk about with this particular film. Alright, so what was your favorite part of the movie?
I think my favorite part of the movie was the redemption scene when Top Gun had kicked out Maverick as an instructor, and they were refocusing the mission, lowering the parameters, increasing the likelihood that the pilots were going to be killed in this mission. And he found a way to get back in. He steals a jet, runs the course, lowers the parameters, and proves to the whole class that that mission could actually be done successfully.
Yep, that scene is one of my favorites as well. That's one of those pulse pounding adrenaline moments, but also one that was like a pivotal point for the story itself. But now, let's go ahead and talk about characters. We have several new cast members, all with their own fun call signs. Some notable additions. You got Phoenix, you got Bob, and of course, the star of the show, Rooster, the son of Goose. Thoughts on Rooster?
I like how they did Rooster. They played up on some pent-up aggression that he had for Maverick, as he had allegedly pulled his Naval Academy papers, set his career back a few years. We later find out he did that on request of his mother, and Maverick kept that secret so that he wouldn't resent his mother as well as himself. You could tell there was animosity there, and there's the redemption in the end. I thought they played the character really well.
Yep, Miles Teller did a fantastic job, and he really does look like the original Goose, in my opinion.
He did. He played Great Balls of Fire on the piano. I thought that was a good throwback. I think they did a very good mix of throwbacks to the original along with some very new content.
Now, I have to say my favorite character in the whole movie, actually, it was the return of Iceman. Val Kilmer's back at it. I loved his scene. He only got the one scene, but he really delivered on it.
Yeah, I've been told that Tom Cruise would not do the movie if Val Kilmer could not be in it, and they found a way to do it with some artificial intelligence and some older recordings of his voice, and I thought that was a good kind of tribute to him. Also another throwback to the original.
Alrighty. Now, one thing I didn't really think about until after the movie finished, but this movie actually has a lot of similarities to another favorite of mine, which is the original Star Wars.
Agreed. I think it's a very similar plot in the end, and you got your very skilled fighter pilots going on a specific mission against all odds, and seeming to come out okay in the end.
But yeah, the similarity of Star Wars, I thought it was excellent. And again, the fact that they set up this whole plot again around this mission, that's something I feel they didn't do in the first one. The first one, they do go on some missions, but that was never the central focus. But this one, the whole movie is built around this mission. It's an extremely difficult task, a very specific thing that the pilots have to pull off in order to actually be successful. And of course, along with that, you also get to hear a lot of cool military speak, some cool aviator speak. We get to learn about the G's. We get to learn about the Machs. You get to learn about all this cool stuff.
Yeah, the first movie was focused more on the training of the pilots, and that's part of this movie. But I'll agree with you there. The mission is more central to the story this time, and I thought the cast was really good. I wish they had played up a little more of the character development of the new group of pilots. There's just not enough time in a little over 2-hour movie, but there's a lot of material there. I could definitely see another sequel coming in the future.
Alrighty. So is there anything you didn't like about the movie?
Well, I know this is kind of getting nitpicky, but there's just a few things I think I would have changed. There's, this is over the edge, action, and there's just a couple of scenes I think just went a little bit too far. I would have maybe left that out. I really like the fact that it's very family friendly. I think if they had just cut out 1 or 2 scenes, they could have even made this a PG movie, which I would have personally thought was a better way to go. But I'm really picking at hairs here because it was a great film overall.
My only real complaint about the movie, just like in the first one, I didn't care for the romance subplot, and that does return in this one. Although I was talking to my mother, your wife, and she did point out a good thing, that the romance plot actually played a bigger role in the fact that it's giving Maverick something to, a reason to come home, so to speak. And that actually brings me to one last point I have. For a while there, I really thought they were actually going to have Maverick die at the end of this movie. It was almost setting that up for that, but he didn't.
Yeah, I could have seen that as a possible way to go, but I think now that the story is rekindled, I think there's just too much potential for more movies, and I think you could see another spin-off with Maverick or not as a central role in the movie. So I could see that happening perhaps in the future, but they just had to leave him for now.
If they do make a third movie, anything in particular you'd like to see?
Really like the Phoenix character. I'd like to see her perhaps be a more central character. The Hangman character was great as a villain, even though I think they could have even played that up a little more. I could see him coming back. I liked Coyote. I liked Payback. I actually liked all the pilots. I could see them coming back as kind of an ensemble again for perhaps another mission, something even more difficult.
Yep. But closing thoughts from me, I think it is a fantastic sequel. It does rely a lot on nostalgia. It's got the Danger Zone. It's got a lot of callbacks to the old movie. But again, it moves forward. It introduces tons of new characters. It's just shown also how far filmmaking has come, what they're able to pull off now with modern technology, new techniques. And overall, I feel like this is how sequels should be done, because it takes the story, continues it, and makes what was already an entertaining movie. I'll admit, the first one's entertaining, but it makes it even better. So yeah, I give Top Gun Maverick top marks.
I agree. I never looked once at the clock as we were in the movie theater, and I wasn't ready for the movie to be over. 2 signs of a great movie, in my opinion, and I'm just looking forward to hopefully another one in the future.
All right. That'll wrap up the video. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe. And of course, I want to give a special thank you to our guest star, Donnie Aschenbrenner, right here. You can be my wingman anytime.
Bullshit. You could be mine.